Man, it's a wonderful day outside. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming, and the seasons always keep changing, even life itself. Any changes can be good. Some might be a bit more than we can swallow. But the best thing about change is that it always starts off in a brand new adventure. So, why am I talking about change while reviewing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you may ask? The answer is quite simple. Nintendo always seemed to prove me wrong. And I am glad of this. Before I touched this game, I was not much familiar with other games like the Legend of Zelda series, or Star Fox, or even Kirby for that matter, except learning them from their existence through Smash Brothers. Still, I am curious on other games Nintendo created in the past. Perhaps this online service thing will allow me to play more NES games in the future. Maybe even more Nintendo games on other systems for the online service. Or maybe I'm a bit optimistic. Time will tell. When I heard that this game was going to be on the Wii U, I was thinking that this game was going to be something simple like Skyward Sword or Wind Waker, where they have a set pathway, or a World's Adventure, but it's still you're in focus on going to your destination. Surprisingly, that was not the case. Sure, there is the main mission in the Breath of Wild, but this is not any other original Legend of Zelda games I ever played, or ever known. This game is huge, non-linear, a bigger scale than Super Mario Odyssey. That to me, that's a big deal. I mean, who would have thought that they'd look at the past games on the news and make it into something like this? Not to mention they made some drastic measures too, like the voice acting, the music, even using other weapons before the main ones. This is a whole new perspective, and I admired this so much. When I was playing this game for the livestream event, I was distracted. Every single time I tried to get to the main goal of the game, I ended up distracting myself of finding every single thing to survive upon. Making food, finding goodies. They basically dying so many times I lost count how many. Finding little missing memories, etc., so on and so forth. I suppose you can say that I tend to venture in video games more than collectathon hunting like Odyssey. I'm not gonna lie here, I only stopped playing this game mostly because I was more curious about Super Mario Odyssey and Sonic Forces. And when I was done with those, I decided to give this one more go. So since I wrapped this game up completely, what do I think about it?
This is Jermaine from JamPark35, and today we're reviewing Legend of Breath of the Wild. It's jamming time!
You, as Link, wake up in a strange ruin with no memory of what has happened or why you're even there in the first place, until you meet up with the old man. This old man explains what happened to the Kingdom of Hyrule. To keep it as simple, 10,000 years ago, the tale repeats the same way. Ganon returns, and the Princess of Hyrule, along with the hero, whatever, defeats the foul beast. But ever since after the final battle, the Kingdom of Hyrule has begun to advance civilization, finding these ancient machines called the Guardians, as well as the 4 Divine Beasts. Wanting to take over the Divine Beasts, Zelda formed the Hyrule Champions if they ever need to use it. The Hyrule Champions come in with Link, obviously, Mipha,
Daruk Rail, or what most people call him as Ravioli because of his personality. Personally, I can't blame him. And Urbosa.
However, Ganon, now known as Clammed Ganon, was 2 steps ahead of them as he takes control over the gardens as well as the 4 divine beasts. The champions fought bravely, but in the process, they lost their lives, along with Link being injured.
So, for Link to be fully healed, she threw him into the slumber chamber for 100 years while using all her magic to hold Calamity Ganon back for 100 years. Okay, I know Hylians and humans are not the same thing, but even I raise an eyebrow sometimes. I mean, do Hylians have longer lifespans? Did Zelda use her magic to not only keep herself young, but also to hold Calamity Ganon back? Does she ever use the rest up? I need answers, man!
Your goal is to recapture the divine beast, fight Ganon, and win the war. Or you can fight him head on. No, I'm not kidding here. You don't need the divine beast to defeat Ganon. Just your own personal weapon of choice like a broom and he can be down for the count. I heard insane people did this and won the game less than 42 minutes. 42! Man, this might be the easiest Zelda game of all time. Right? Well, not exactly. In this game, you have many opportunities at hand. You can venture through the meadows, climb on mountainsides, even gathering food. This is basic 2D Zelda game into 3D Zelda came true. You can do whatever you need to do and still do it. But if you want to beat the game, there are a few things you need to know first off. 1. This Zelda game may seem to be a bit easy, but don't let that fool you. In previous Zelda games, they play it easy. Get hit? No sweat. It will only take bits of your health, like 1/2 or 2. However, in this game, you will lose from 3 health points to whopping almost all of them. This game wants you to play safe, not barging into dangerous territories head on. And yet, I like this idea. You must play smart by using the weapons you have, dodge perfectly to attack, and eat a lot. And I do mean a lot, unless you want to, die. 2. Weaponry. So, remember in previous Legend of Zelda series, you are stuck with bombs, bows, and arrows, grappling hook, and Link's evil bane? We'll throw that all out the window because we got weapons of the wazoo. From a stick to a longsword, a club to a handy arm. These are weapons of all kinds as well as armor. You can even use different types of bows and arrows. However, you can't stick to one weapon for very long. You're going to switch things up left and right because the more you use it, the more it take damage. Once it's broken, say goodbye to that weapon. Except for Hero's Bane, which, in truth, it's still your main weapon, obviously. But it has an energy meter of use, and yeah, we'll come back to the weapons later. 3. The Ruins. In this game, you receive a handy tool called the Sheikah Slate. With it, you can use it to control metal, time, create icy platforms, and create bombs in thin air. You can also take selfies and use it as a map. Even though you started off small with the slate, you can expand the map by, the towers and the shrines. Now, the towers are basic warp points where you can warp to certain areas. That way you can 1. Get to certain areas much more faster, and 2. Find the shrines much more efficiently. 4. Eat food and make food. This is the most important thing in this game because unless you want to die, you must eat a lot of food. Of course, eating something with an apple is not going to do anything good, so the only way to heal more is to make combinations of the food. This is where experimental cooking comes in, and not to say I need a cookbook, because if you done it incorrectly, you get undesirable food, which will refill less than 2. If you cook properly, it will help you in various situations, like able to have enough energy to go faster, impervious to heat for limited time, even grants you cold resistance. 5. Find the goods in every single inch of the area. Now this is the most important part of the game. Rubies are not rare to find, you must find ways to make money. You can do the classical way by cutting grass or opening chests, or you can sell whatever you got and what you are not using.
Also, including the fact that you can save more money of purchasing more items or more weapons by making yourself a house with 30 wood and 3,000 rubies. I never heard of this until recently on my live streaming event, and that is actually even cool for me. Link can officially have a house for once.
Trust me, this is the best way to buy necessary things like armor or food for the road. 6. Know your playfield. Like I said, this is an open world. Not only you have to think smarter, but you also have to know your surroundings. If you're in the middle of a rainstorm, best idea not to have anything metal around you. If the area is going to get warm, like near a volcano warm, best not to use anything that could catch on fire. Need to get to higher places? Use the whirlwind or the fire on the grasses to fly higher with the glider and use arrows to attack the ground if needed.
An enemy that is weak to fire, then use a sword that conjures fire.
It's the some things like this that would make you think and wonder how to attack them in certain situations. And I kind of like that. 7. Divine Beasts is a must. Once you save the Divine Beast, you get new abilities, and let me remind you, they are important.
Mifa heals you up when you're about to die, giving you 3 golden hearts in the process. Ravioli allows you to create a whirlwind, which you can use it to glide into higher or further places with your paraglider that you received from the old man. Also creates a circle of lightning, which stuns enemies all around in the area field, as well as Daruk using his, barrier, which allows you to protect yourself from incoming attacks that you won't see coming. Now, with those 7 things checked off, let's talk about how it plays. The controls are straight to the point. Not only you can move around more freely, but you can also switch weapons on the fly whenever you want. This is good thing as it's faster than pause the game and have to scroll down to find what you're looking for, or pausing the game altogether. You can even dodge incoming attacks. Yes, you can dodge attacks in the past, but nothing quite like this. If you dodge it perfectly, you go into flurry attack mode, where you can attack the enemies more efficiently. Some might say it's a bit too easy, but I think it's the best way to exploit the enemy's mistakes. You can even deflect projectiles thanks to the shield. Normally I used it to deflect something simple like a boulder or something even more dangerous, like a laser. But the jump dodge, it comes down to timing, which I am getting better at it this time. As much as I love the control of this game, I want to discuss the issue I have with it. First, when you can use the left analog stick to move around, it's also crouched if you click your left analog stick. Now, imagine trying to dodge an incoming attack only to crouch instead of trying to jump to the side. This is one thing that bugs the most out of this game, and truth be told, I would rather have a crouch button with a run-in to be part of an analog stick instead of the other way around. That way this issue is not that bad to face upon.
maybe I just need to learn not to go to a certain direction so quickly or push the left analog stick so hard. If they decided to do that, that would be great. You can even use the stamina feature and everything would still be the same. Now the second issue is the main mechanic with having your weapons taking damage. Again, I get why they did this, and they made it a lot better than what Paper Mario did, making the player flexible to all weapons to all kinds. But I wish there was a way to fix your weapons too, like a blacksmith for example. That way you can fix your weapons ahead of time instead of scavenging what you have left over. That is, if the weapon is something that can't be fixed, like a handy skeleton arm or a stick. That's a different story. I tend to keep my favorite weapons a bit longer, but I know once all my weapons and shields are broken, I must use them as the last resort.
Okay, this is completely off script here, but apparently there is a blacksmith in Breath of the Wild. The only problem is they only fix a certain weapons that you receive after defeating the divine beasts. Not to mention you have to work your details of grabbing every single object, every single material, and a certain weapon, shield, or bow to fix it. So it's there, but not completely there.
Despite this though, I'm actually having so much fun exploring and venturing to every land, on foot and on horse, even sliding down the hill with your shield. This game has ideas of all kinds, even with the motion controls. Oh boy, those puzzles and motion controls. Why is that a thing for the temple puzzle? I'll talk more about the temples later, but let's talk about the presentation, which I gotta say is amazing.
If there's one thing I have to say about the presentation, it's one thing. It's so lively.
There's this mishmash of two different styles of Legend of Zelda games. The more realistic look of Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, and the cartoony, cel-shaded look from Toon Link's Wind Waker and Hourglass. They mash it up good. Probably it's because I like the cartoony feel in games these days, but it just looks so much better. Especially with environments. Oh man, they have so many good views. From the sunset to the mountaintops and the snow and the lava. It looks so good for Legends Zelda, and I wish they used this idea more often. And the music. Oh boy, I love it. The nice piano song you hear while you look out in the open. Whenever you fight enemies and exploring to different cities and hearing string instruments and violins. It brings the environment to life very well. I wish I could find a way to listen to it. Well, there is a few options.
Imagine something like Skyrim. You can explore around, do the main mission, obviously, but there are other side missions too. Hide and go seek is one of them. Doing the scavenger hunt to find a cookbook to help you cook better, or helping a certain guy to fall in love with a big woman. In return, after you do those side missions, you get rubies. Well, mostly rubies. Sometimes it's food or other things as well that helps you along the journey.
However, there are more than side quests, and that is,
Well, the towers and the shrines. Now, the towers are basic warp points where you can warp to certain areas. That way you can, one, get to certain areas much more faster, and two, find the shrines much more efficient. Now, these shrines, they are different from one another. Some of them includes puzzle elements which you have to use your either Sheikah Slate or your weapons that you have in hand or to progress their level, Or it could be a combat trial where you have to fight against a smaller guardian, where you have to dodge perfectly or use the environment around you. While others can be a simple reward you can get right after you complete a puzzle or a side quest in the open world. Once you complete the trials, you receive the Spirit of Courage. If you collect 4 of them, you're able to go to the shrine where you can upgrade your stamina or your health.
Personally, I would prefer leveling both up, but you should upgrade your sprint and meter more since you can upgrade your health by defeating the bosses. Then there are these memories which holds very special to Link and Zelda. Though I don't know about Link. He doesn't show any expressions whenever he remembers something. I mean, he shows small things, but maybe it's just me. Then there is the Korok seeds, which, yeah, looks like poop. But if give it to Hetsu, a Korok, he can expand your inventory. That way you can store even more room for weapons, shields, even more stuff. And then there are the DLC. The Trial of the Sword has you start off with no weapons. As you continue the game, gets more weapons and armor for yourself. There is hard mode where the enemies become more dangerous, and this suits even new elements to the story itself with the champions ballad. I suppose it's a good way to keep games going for more play value, and I don't mind it one bit. Yes, I did say that in Super Mario Odyssey, the moon collecting is a chore. This is a different story. This game wants me to continue playing the game, and I have more things to do even after the game's main story is finished. That's what I want to see when they decide to add more things into the game. A challenge, new challenges, a new part of the story, and a world where you explore in and interact. And then there is Amiibos comes in, and honestly, I want to talk more about them, but there isn't much to say except they do small features to the game, like having a wolfling with you, or more weapons or suits to find, including normal ones which gives you food. That, and again, I really don't have these amiibos.
What more can I say other than this is the best video game I ever played? In fact, this is one of the best Legend of Zelda games I ever played thus far. Yes, this is my very first one, other than Wind Waker, but different topic for another time. Yes, there are some nitpicks I have with the game, but if they decide to fix that in the near future, by all means, I think it would be better than ever before. This is indeed a new perspective to Legend of Zelda series. That's one thing I wish Nintendo would do that for future other games. This game is definitely a breath of fresh air, and I recommend anyone to play it. Jamtastic! So those are my thoughts. What about yours? Do you like the game, or do you think it needs 100 years of sleep? How's Zelda able to live that long? Place your comments down below. This is Jeremiah from JamFrog35 saying stay jamtastic and have yourself a really good time. Excelsior!